4 o'clock.
It is 4 o'clock.
Hey, welcome everybody.
What is up?
What is up, everybody? It is Tuesday. Does anybody else feel like it's a Monday? Because it's a Tuesday after a holiday weekend. We hope you all had a relaxing and respectful Memorial Day yesterday, honoring our fallen soldiers. And it is a Tuesday that has me have a short week. Messing my week up.
Short week.
Yes, it is. It feels very short. It is the beginning of June 2021. We are running into the end of the school year here in Lehigh County, and we are here to talk about it. What are we talking about today, Jerry? Oh, who are we?
I don't know. Who are we? I'm Jerry.
I'm Rachel Niesman, and we are the Niesman Team with Keller Williams Realty in Fort Myers, and we go live on Facebook. I almost said Thursdays. That's wrong.
Every Tuesday.
Tuesdays for Talk About It Tuesday, where we go over the real talk conversation about our experience in real estate. And yeah, this video is sponsored by us. And so if you are interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate, please contact Jerry. You should have his contact. If not, you are here on his Facebook page. So shoot him a Facebook message and we'll help you out.
Yep. Or you can call me, text me, 239-201-9583. Email me at jerryniesman@gmail.com.
Yes. What else?
Find us on YouTube.
On the YouTube.
The Niesman Team.
Very simply.
Yeah, I think that's it.
We are smack dab in the middle of a series. Thank you. A series of the pros and cons of living in different parts of Southwest Florida. So we've covered places like Fort Myers, North Fort Myers, Cape Coral. We are kind of circling up and around. We did last week Punta Gorda and Port Charlotte. So check out those videos on our YouTube channel if you're interested. And today we are here to talk about the pros and cons of living in Lehigh Acres, Florida. And so if you are joining us live on Facebook, we would love, don't forget, the way this works is I am your typing hands in communication. Feel free to leave a comment, question, anything like that, drop it in the box, and Jerry will live answer your question. We're going to talk about it ourselves, but we're happy to field any questions or give the rest of the world your comments on the topic. So you ready to get started?
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm excited for this one. Lehigh Acres. Tell us where we're at geographically, Jerry.
So Lehigh is in eastern Lee County. So east of Fort Myers, south of Alva.
Yes. Which we haven't talked about.
Nope, we haven't talked about Alva yet.
Alva is east of North Fort Myers. So if you have North Fort Myers and South Fort Myers next to each other, then the checkerboard is like Alva and then Lehigh.
So Alva runs both sides of the river, the Caloosahatchee River.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Part of Alva is on the north, part of Alva is on the south. Lehigh is south of Alva, so south of the Caloosahatchee River.
And Lehigh's big.
It is very big. It runs all the way
to
the Hendry County line.
That's the middle of the state?
Hendry County's kind of in the middle of the state, like
between here and Miami, right?
Well, there's more than one county between here and Miami, but yeah.
Okay.
Like between here and Lake Okeechobee, pretty much.
So we're getting towards the middle of the state. We're getting towards legit Everglades territory. Like alligator, snakes living there. So we're getting away from the beach.
Lehigh, but yeah, you're working that way.
All right, cool. And
so we're moving away from the beach.
So they have here, as of 2017, the population estimated to be at about 124,000 people. That's a lot of people.
It is.
That's a lot of people.
And it's grown
and it's huge
significantly since then. But it's got a lot of undeveloped land still.
It's okay, so this clever little tip, somebody once called Lehigh Acres the bargain of Lee County.
Which it still is.
I read this to you that somebody had given Lehigh Acres the slogan, the bargain of Lee County, and you said truth. Hashtag truth.
It still is.
So what makes it that? Is it the least expensive city address in Lee County? Typically. I'm sure you can find cheaper, but in general, as
Yep. I mean, it's not a city. It is a designated area.
Unincorporated.
It's unincorporated Lee County, so it's
Okay.
considered a designated area, but it's not.
A
It's not a
city.
city. It's not a town. It's not a
Huh.
village.
It's an area.
It is a designated area within unincorporated Lee County.
I didn't know a place could just be an area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's an area. So it says
Fort Myers is an area too.
apparently there's a documentary film that traces the dramatic story of the rise and fall of Lehigh Acres.
I kind of want to watch it.
We are going to watch it. Let me tell you, we are going to watch this documentary and like probably do a movie review on it for one of our videos for Talk About It Tuesday coming up once we knock out this series. We'll take you guys on the journey with us.
The rise and fall of Lehigh Acres. That's funny. My assumption is the fall as in like the market crash of 2007.
So it's interesting you say that because there was a surge in housing prices which led to a boom in Lehigh Acres new housing construction. You guessed it, 2003 to 2007. Dun dun dun. Peaking at more than 7,500 new homes constructed in 2006. So we all know what happened in 2007, 2008.
I mean, not everybody knows.
Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
That was like 15 years ago. Like our kids weren't even born then.
I can't believe that. How? Like how though? So in 2008.
So for those that don't know, the big economic boom, 2005, 2006, 2007. Well, really like the early 2007s, really when it kind of started crashing in some places. And so, yeah, the housing market crashed based on the crazy real estate loans that were given out to pretty much anybody with a pulse and even some people without pulses.
No, did that really happen?
Yes, they actually gave mortgages to dead people.
Oh, why?
So all of that happened, and that's when the real estate market crashed and when housing prices crashed here in Southwest Florida and across most of the rest of the United States.
It's interesting. They say here from 2003 to 2007, the number of homes built during that period exceeded the total number of homes constructed in Lehigh Acres during the preceding 50 years combined.
That's crazy.
That's a lot. But you say there's still more land.
There's a ton more land.
And let me tell you, like, not for nothing, you own a construction company.
Yes.
You're building homes in Lehigh Acres. Yes.
Yes.
So it is the bargain of Lee County. We'll co-sign on that as being.
Yep. The whole reason we chose that area is because the largest need for housing in Southwest Florida is affordable housing. And so we wanted to build homes as affordably as possible to provide for that. So that's where we're building because that's where we can get land the cheapest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the most affordable area in all of Lee County.
So let's talk about things to do. There is an ecological park.
Yes.
And where you can go and hike through.
3.5 acres.
Dusk till dawn.
It's a wetlands area that they transformed into a
like a hiking park, right? Hiking. We say that very loosely here in Florida. We're flat. There's
hiking in Florida does not mean going up and down. It means walking outside. Outside.
So there
sometimes through wet, swampy areas.
One of my favorite libraries in Lee County is out in Lehigh. Really nice library. There is a couple of golf clubs. If you like to go country club, golf club types, that if you want to go and do that, there's a little bit of shopping that can be done. It is not the shopping hub of Southwest Florida. We'll get to that more in the con section or the pro section, depending on what your priorities are. So let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of living in Lehigh Acres. The number one pro we're going to say is
affordable.
It's affordable. It's bang for your buck, right?
Yep.
If your only dream is to get out of the like snow shovel of living in the north, for whatever you want to do for the rest of your life, Lehigh Acres is a good bargain.
If you want to get to warm weather and not have to spend a lot of money to do it, Lehigh is a
great place to do it. Yeah. So it says the cost of living in Lehigh is lower than the national average in most cities here in the state of Florida. And some areas can be higher than others on a state and federal level. Overall average housing costs, utilities, grocery, transportation, healthcare, miscellaneous goods, and services are less expensive. It's an inexpensive place to live. It's an inexpensive place to plant yourself. And to add on to that, not only is it affordable housing, it is flexible housing, laid back. I don't know how I want to word this. I said in our conversation before this, I said it's the Wild West, just like North Fort Myers, right? One of my good
not really, because there's very little agricultural zoned land in Lehigh.
Oh, see, I was just gonna say chickens.
You can have chickens.
Yes, chickens. So
you don't have to have agricultural land to have chickens.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nope.
You just can't be in Cape Coral and have chickens.
Correct. That's
Not
a
yet.
city,
That's
city
a
ordinance.
city thing.
Although there are people in Cape Coral that have chickens. I know who you are.
But we won't tell anybody. Secret safe with us. We're not the
police. The way you get caught having chickens in Cape Coral is you have a rooster.
Rooster, right?
People call and file a noise complaint against the rooster. Nobody talks about the chickens.
Yes. So it is, but it's not the gated community.
Correct.
Suburban, like every house looks the same in a neighborhood. There are older homes in Lehigh
there's houses
from the
built in the 50s
still.
Yep.
And there are brand new homes being built in Lehigh still, so you can find across the gamut. And
tons of vacant lots.
You can paint your mailbox whatever color you want to paint your mailbox. You can have chickens in a chicken coop. You can play your music as loud as you want any time of the day or night.
Well, I mean, there's still noise ordinances.
Sure. I don't know that they're closely followed, though, according to my secret services.
You know.
It's the area.
No, the county, the sheriff's department.
Yes.
The county.
So, yeah, that's the best thing I think about it. And then also the final pro that we have is the growth, that it's still growing, that there are still new stores. They got themselves an Aldi now, and other stuff like that.
They were one of the first spots to get an Aldi.
They were one of the first spots to get an Aldi.
You were going to Lehigh to Aldi for a long time.
For real, before like Cape Coral and Fort Myers got it. Now they just need to get a Trader Joe's. If anybody from Trader Joe's community is listening, everywhere in Southwest Florida, please. And but yeah, it's still growing. It says
so lots of opportunity for growth means lots of opportunity for increased property values. So getting in sooner rather than later, going up.
And I'll wrap around our final pro with this could also be a con, which is the location. So some parts of Lehigh are in a phenomenal location in terms of being close to the airport, being close to the I-75, and being able to head north or south for work.
Other parts of Lehigh are closer to Immokalee in the Everglades, if that's where you need to go.
So let's talk cons. So the biggest con that we came up with is
there's like virtually no public transportation.
There's no public transportation. I found a note here that says residents have to contend with a long commute in Lehigh, spending on average 35 minutes every day commuting to work. And I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe that.
About right.
So if you are headed to, depending on where you buy in Lehigh, will depend on your commute, of course. But if you could live in Lehigh and work in parts of Fort Myers, like city of Fort Myers proper, and during season have an hour commute.
Mm-hmm.
It could be an hour from certain parts of Lehigh to certain parts of Fort Myers. To get from certain parts of Lehigh to certain parts of Cape Coral, you're talking 90 minutes. It's insane. Just because it's so big. And it seems there's parts of Lehigh that are like set up that you have to go on like 17 streets to get to a house, right? Am I crazy? What's the word for it? Infrastructure?
It's because there's canals and stuff like that.
Okay.
There as well. They're not Gulf access canals. Don't get excited.
Right.
But there are canals
canals?
that block. Yeah, you can fish in them.
Cute.
So they block some of the roads. So you do have a little bit of a maze sometimes in certain areas to get in and out. Couple of the spots in like northwest Lehigh, there's like big gated communities just to the north that you can't get through, so you can't go north, and so it takes a longer time to head down south. So just depends on where you are.
And that's kind of it. We, it being such a free, wild westy may also like flip both from the pros and cons, like just because you can paint your mailbox whatever color you want it to be,
Which
and
means your
neighbors can also have 17 cars in the yard. They can
so
run
if
a
that's
workshop
you, it's a great place.
Right.
If you don't want that next door to you, then you gotta be.
It's great if you're like trades and have like a work truck and stuff like that. Places in Fort Myers, gated communities in Cape Coral won't allow you to have like work trucks in the yard, stuff like that. You can do that in Lehigh Acres. It's a pretty laid back place. What else? What else do you have to add? Anything?
That's pretty much it.
Anything else? Anybody else? We really appreciate you joining us today. This is a pretty quick one. And let us know if you have any questions about any of the places we've discussed in Southwest Florida. The Niesman team covers everywhere from Sarasota south to like Naples, Marco Island area. And we're happy to field any questions.
Yep. So, and if you're curious about other areas, check out our other videos on YouTube. We've been doing pros and cons of all kinds of different cities and working our way up and down all of Southwest Florida.
I think we're headed to Estero next. So join us next week. I was going to say no, but yes, join us next week on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Talk About It Tuesday, where we talk about the pros and cons of living in Estero, Florida. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks.
Bye. End live video. No, I